Did you know that a seemingly innocent object placed on your bed could quietly disrupt your health, drain your financial stability, and even invite negativity into your life? This might sound far-fetched, but ancient spiritual traditions warn us about the energy carried by the items we keep closest to us. Objects are not just material possessions, they hold meaning, vibrations, and intentions, which can deeply influence the course of our lives. Padre Pio, known for his extraordinary spiritual insight and connection to the divine, spoke of this in his teachings. He believed that certain objects, if placed carelessly, could open unseen doors to misfortune. These warnings weren't about superstition, but about understanding the subtle ways our environment shapes our existence. What could this object be, and why does it carry such power? More importantly, how can you guard yourself against these unseen influences that might already be at work in your life? Throughout human history, objects have been more than tools or decorations. They've been symbols, conduits of energy, and keepers of memories. Padre Pio recognized that every item we choose to surround ourselves with carries an essence, some nurturing, others harmful. Our homes, especially our bedrooms, are reflections of our inner world. The bed, where we rest, dream, and renew, holds particular significance. It's a place of vulnerability and spiritual intimacy, where the energy we absorb shapes our waking life. Imagine a bed with a cluttered, chaotic presence. Debt papers, broken belongings, or gifts from people who harbor ill will. All of these might seem trivial at first glance. Yet, when placed in the sacred space of your bed, they act like quiet disruptors, interfering with the flow of peace, health, and prosperity in your life. It's easy to overlook this connection, to brush off the idea that such small things could have such large consequences. But the energy we invite into our resting space affects how we carry ourselves in the world. Clara's story is a testament to this unseen truth. For years, she felt trapped in a cycle of financial instability and unexplainable health struggles. Doctors couldn't pinpoint the cause of her constant fatigue, and despite working tirelessly, her financial situation refused to improve. She couldn't understand why her life felt so heavy, so stuck, until a conversation with an old friend changed everything. Her friend, deeply rooted in spiritual practices, suggested she look at her bedroom, not just for cleanliness, but for energy. Clara hesitated. She thought it sounded ridiculous. How could her struggles have anything to do with her bedroom? Still, desperate for change, she decided to humor her friend's advice. She began examining the space she had taken for granted. That's when Clara noticed the pile of unpaid bills on her nightstand, the cracked mirror leaning against the wall, and the old, broken clock that had been gathering dust for years. These objects, unassuming yet ever-present, were quietly feeding her stress, reminding her of what she lacked, and anchoring her in feelings of failure and stagnation. Taking her friend's advice seriously, Clara cleared the space. She moved the bills to a desk in another room, discarded the broken items, and replaced them with objects that felt calming and meaningful: a vase of fresh flowers, a small candle, and a book she loved. The changes didn't happen overnight, but they were undeniable. Gradually, Clara noticed a shift in her energy. She began waking up feeling rested. Opportunities she hadn't expected started appearing, easing her financial burdens. Her health improved, and a sense of lightness returned to her days. It was as though clearing her physical space had created room for new possibilities to enter her life. This transformation wasn't magic, it was intention. The energy of her bedroom, once chaotic and heavy, became aligned with what she wanted to attract: peace, clarity, and abundance. By honoring the space where she rested, she invited balance into her life. Padre Pio's teachings remind us to treat our environments with care. The things we surround ourselves with are never just things. They carry stories, meanings, and energies that we unconsciously absorb. Neglecting this connection can invite unwanted consequences, while nurturing it can bring profound changes. You might look around your bedroom now, wondering if there's something out of place. Perhaps an item you've overlooked holds an energy that no longer serves you. It could be a gift from someone who once hurt you, a piece of clutter you've been meaning to deal with, or even something broken that you've been too busy to replace. By removing these items, you're not just tidying up, you're making space for healing, growth, and new blessings. Take a moment to consider what you want your space to reflect. Is it peace, prosperity, a sense of renewal? Introduce objects that symbolize those intentions. Fresh flowers, meaningful photographs, or even something simple like a candle can shift the energy of a room. Make your bed a sanctuary, free from stress and negativity. Protecting this space is an act of self-care and respect for your well-being. It's easy to dismiss the idea that the placement of objects could have such a profound impact. But life is full of connections that we don't always see. The energy around us shapes our thoughts, emotions, and actions. By becoming mindful of what we allow into our sacred spaces, we can create an environment that supports our highest good. If you've ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or out of balance, consider what your surroundings might be saying about your inner world. Change begins with awareness. Just as Clara discovered, the smallest adjustments can lead to the biggest transformations. When you align your space with your intentions, you open the door to a life of greater harmony and possibility. Clara had always been a hard-working woman. She put in long hours, diligently managing her responsibilities, yet despite her efforts, she could never seem to save money. Every time she thought she was making progress, an unexpected expense would arise, pulling her back into financial instability. To make matters worse, her health had been deteriorating for months. Fatigue weighed her down, and minor ailments seemed to linger endlessly. No matter what she did, she felt trapped in a cycle of struggle and frustration. One evening, a friend shared a story about Padre Pio, a revered spiritual figure known for his deep connection to the divine and his wisdom about the unseen forces that shape our lives. Intrigued, Clara began to read about his teachings. Padre Pio had spoken extensively about the profound impact of our environment on our well-being, emphasizing the importance of maintaining purity and balance, not only within ourselves but also in the spaces we inhabit. Clara decided to take a closer look at her surroundings, especially her bedroom. It was her sanctuary, a place where she should have felt peace and renewal, yet it had become a space of clutter and chaos. Bills and papers related to her debts were scattered across her bed. They had been there so long that she barely noticed them anymore. But now she wondered if they might be contributing to the weight she felt in her life. Inspired by Padre Pio's advice, she decided to make a change. Following his guidance, Clara removed the stack of financial documents and replaced them with items that symbolized hope and faith. On her bedside table, she placed a small crucifix and a handwritten prayer she recited each night. The transformation was simple but intentional, a way to invite peace into her most personal space. She wasn't sure what to expect, but she hoped this act of faith might bring some clarity and relief. Within a few weeks, Clara began to notice subtle but significant changes. Her financial problems, which had once seemed insurmountable, began to ease. Opportunities she hadn't anticipated started to present themselves, allowing her to pay off small debts and start saving for the first time in years. Her health improved as well. She felt more energetic, and the chronic fatigue that had plagued her began to lift. It was as though a weight she hadn't even realized she was carrying had been lifted. This transformation opened Clara's eyes to the unseen forces that Padre Pio had described. She began to understand the power of energy, how the objects we surround ourselves with, and the spaces we create can either nurture or drain us. It wasn't just about tidying up. It was about aligning her environment with her intentions and creating a space that supported her well-being. Padre Pio's teachings often focused on the spiritual resonance of everyday life. Throughout his life, he received divine revelations that deepened his understanding of how the physical and spiritual worlds intersect. He often warned his followers about the impact of certain objects and the energies they carried. For him, purity extended beyond the heart. It encompassed the home and the spaces we inhabit. He believed that specific items could harbor a negative spiritual charge capable of interfering with our peace, health, and prosperity. One of the most sacred spaces in a person's home, according to Padre Pio, was the bed. It is where the body and soul find rest and renewal, a place of vulnerability and spiritual openness. He often cautioned that placing the wrong objects on the bed could have serious consequences, such as inviting illness, financial hardship, and even discord within the family. To ignore these warnings was, in his view, to allow negative energies to infiltrate one's life. Stories from those who heeded Padre Pio's advice are striking. People who removed objects like unpaid bills, broken items, or emotionally charged memorabilia from their bedrooms often experienced profound changes. It wasn't about superstition, it was about creating harmony in a space that directly impacts our energy. For some, the simple act of decluttering their bed and replacing negative items with positive symbols was enough to unblock stagnant energy and invite peace and prosperity into their lives. The consequences of ignoring these principles, however, were equally striking. Padre Pio observed that those who left their environments in disarray, cluttered with objects carrying negative energy, often struggled with unexplained health problems, financial difficulties, and emotional turmoil. Their lives seemed to mirror the chaos of their surroundings. Clara's story is just one example of how small changes can lead to profound transformations. By removing the negative energy associated with her debt papers and replacing it with symbols of faith and hope, she was able to shift the energy of her space and, in turn, her life. It was a lesson she would never forget, a reminder of the power of intention and the importance of creating an environment that nurtures the soul. For those facing challenges, whether financial struggles, health issues, or a general sense of imbalance, Padre Pio's teachings offer a path to renewal. He left us with a clear message: our lives are reflections of the spaces we create. When we fill those spaces with negativity, whether through clutter, unresolved emotions, or objects that carry harmful energy, we unknowingly sabotage our own well-being. But when we approach our environment with care and intention, we open the door to healing and growth. Are you feeling weighed down by financial worries, health challenges, or a lack of direction? Consider what your surroundings might be saying about your inner state. Look around your bedroom, especially your bed. Are there items that carry stress or negativity? Removing them and replacing them with objects that bring comfort and inspiration can be a powerful first step toward transformation. Imagine holding the power to change your life with a simple act of faith. By embracing Padre Pio's wisdom and taking small but meaningful actions, you can create a space that supports your highest aspirations. Let your environment reflect the peace, prosperity, and balance you seek. As Clara discovered, the journey to renewal often begins with the smallest, most intentional steps. Padre Pio often emphasized that the spaces we inhabit, especially where we sleep, hold a significant influence over our lives. The bed, in particular, is more than just a place for physical rest. It is a sanctuary for spiritual renewal, a space where the mind and body rejuvenate and where our energy is most vulnerable. To preserve its sacredness, he taught, we must be mindful of the objects we allow in this space. Neglecting this wisdom can disrupt the harmony of our lives, leading to unexpected challenges, including financial struggles, emotional turmoil, and even health problems. But what are the items that should never find their way onto your bed? Padre Pio warned of several common mistakes, each carrying profound consequences. One of the most overlooked is the habit of placing financial documents, such as unpaid bills or receipts, on the bed. While these papers might seem harmless, they symbolize debt and financial obligations. Their presence in your resting place can subtly invite the energy of scarcity into your life. Instead of fostering peace and renewal, the bed becomes a repository for worries about money, affecting your subconscious even as you sleep. Over time, this can manifest as ongoing financial struggles and a persistent sense of lack. Padre Pio's teachings also extended to broken or damaged items. Watches that no longer tick, jewelry that is cracked or tarnished, and other objects showing wear and tear carry an energy of stagnation and deterioration. Keeping such items near or on your bed, he warned, can attract similar energy into your life, leading to setbacks, financial stagnation, and even emotional strain. By removing these items, you create space for growth, renewal, and positive energy to flow freely. Another often overlooked offender is dirty clothing. Clothes, whether they are physically dirty or imbued with the emotions of a stressful day, carry heavy energy. Placing them on your bed allows that energy to seep into your resting space, contaminating it with negativity. Padre Pio advised against letting these garments linger where you sleep, as doing so could interfere with your ability to recharge spiritually and emotionally. It's not just about tidiness, it's about protecting the energy of your most personal space. Gifts, too, can carry unintended consequences. Padre Pio urged caution when it came to items received from people who might harbor envy, resentment, or ill intentions. Even the most beautiful gifts can carry the vibrations of the giver's emotions. When placed on your bed, these objects can subtly invite negativity into your life, potentially opening the door to financial difficulties, strained relationships, or health challenges. Being discerning about what you allow in your space is a simple but powerful act of self-care. The story of John, a young entrepreneur, illustrates the impact of Padre Pio's teachings. For years, John had worked tirelessly to grow his business. Despite his efforts, he found himself trapped in a frustrating cycle of financial stagnation and personal struggles. No matter how hard he tried, progress seemed just out of reach. Desperate for answers, he came across Padre Pio's advice and decided to take a closer look at his environment. As he examined his bedroom, John noticed several red flags. Unpaid bills were piled on his bed, a broken lamp sat on his nightstand, and clothes from long, exhausting days often ended up tossed across the mattress. These habits, while seemingly trivial, suddenly took on a new significance. Inspired by Padre Pio's teachings, John decided to make some changes. The first step was removing the financial documents from his bed. He organized them neatly in another room, creating a dedicated space for managing his finances. Next, he discarded the broken lamp and replaced it with a simple, functioning one that brought light to his space. He also committed to keeping dirty clothes off his bed, making sure they went straight to the laundry basket or closet. As a final touch, John placed a small, meaningful object on his nightstand, a family heirloom that reminded him of resilience and hope. The results were remarkable. Within weeks, John began to notice a shift. His mind felt clearer, his sleep more restful. New opportunities began to emerge in his business, and he found himself better equipped to handle challenges. The financial stagnation that had plagued him for years began to ease. It was as though clearing the physical clutter had opened up a path for positive energy to flow into his life. John's experience is not unique. Many who have followed Padre Pio's guidance have reported similar transformations. These stories serve as a reminder that our surroundings are not just backdrops to our lives, they are active participants in shaping our experiences. The objects we place in our spaces carry energy, and that energy influences our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Padre Pio's wisdom teaches us that small, intentional changes can have profound effects. By treating our bed as a sacred space, we honor the connection between our physical and spiritual selves. This isn't about superstition, it's about mindfulness. When we create an environment that supports peace, renewal, and positivity, we invite those qualities into our lives. Take a moment to reflect on your own space. What does your bedroom say about your intentions and energy? Are there items that no longer serve you, that carry negativity or stagnation? Removing them could be the first step toward unblocking the flow of abundance, health, and harmony in your life. Through faith and intention, we can transform our spaces, and in doing so, transform ourselves. By honoring Padre Pio's teachings, we protect the sacredness of our resting place and create a foundation for a life of prosperity, peace, and renewal. Guided by Padre Pio's wisdom, John took the first step toward transforming his life by making significant changes to his environment. He began by thoroughly cleansing his space, removing any items that could be obstructing the flow of prosperity. Bills, broken objects, and clutter that had accumulated in his bedroom all were meticulously cleared away. To reinforce his intentions, he placed a crucifix next to his bed. This simple yet powerful symbol became a source of protection and spiritual renewal for John, offering him a sense of peace each time he prepared to rest. Within weeks, the effects were undeniable. John began to notice subtle but meaningful changes in his life. His finances, which had previously been a source of constant worry, started to improve. Opportunities presented themselves, and with newfound clarity, he was able to make decisive and impactful choices in his business. He realized that the transformation in his outer world was closely linked to the care he had taken in his inner sanctuary, his resting place. This revelation inspired him to treat his space with greater intention and respect, creating an environment that aligned with his goals and desires. The bed, as Padre Pio often emphasized, is one of the most critical spaces in any home. It serves as the place where the body rests and the soul finds renewal. For this reason, it must be preserved as a sacred space, free from distractions and negativity. By cultivating this sanctuary, we not only enhance our rest, but also invite blessings and protection into our lives. But how can we truly safeguard this space and transform it into a source of prosperity, health, and spiritual fortitude? The first step, as Padre Pio taught, is maintaining cleanliness and order. A cluttered bed can reflect a cluttered mind and spirit, hindering the flow of positive energy. Dirty sheets, clothes piled on the bed, or random objects carelessly strewn across it can block the blessings that are meant to flow into our lives. Changing your sheets frequently, ensuring the space is clean, and allowing fresh air to circulate are not just acts of physical care, they are spiritual acts that create an energetically pure environment. When the bed feels fresh and inviting, it becomes a vessel for renewal and healing. Adding sacred objects to the space is another powerful practice. A crucifix, an image of the Virgin Mary, or a statue of a saint placed near the bed can act as a protective shield, warding off negative influences. These items carry a high vibrational energy that aligns with peace, love, and divine protection. John's choice to place a crucifix next to his bed was not just symbolic. It served as a constant reminder of his faith and the support of the divine in his journey. Prayer is also a cornerstone of creating a spiritually protected resting place. Padre Pio always encouraged people to say a brief prayer before going to sleep, asking God to bless their rest and shield their soul from harm. This simple ritual can calm the mind, purify the energy of the space, and establish a connection to the divine that continues throughout the night. Through prayer, the bed becomes a place not only of physical rest, but also of spiritual rejuvenation. The placement of the bed itself is another consideration that should not be overlooked. According to ancient teachings, the bed should never face the door directly, as this position can disrupt the natural flow of energy and create restlessness. Instead, placing the bed in a position that supports tranquility and harmony can ensure a peaceful night's sleep. This strategic placement helps align the energy of the space, fostering both rest and renewal. Equally important is removing objects that carry negative associations or energies. Padre Pio warned against keeping items that symbolize pain, conflict, or sadness near the bed. Photographs from challenging times, letters or objects tied to difficult relationships, or gifts from individuals with questionable intentions can subtly weigh down the energy of the space. These items may seem innocuous, but their emotional and energetic weight can affect your peace of mind and well-being. Clearing them away creates space for positivity and hope to take root. John's story is a testament to the transformative power of these practices. By aligning his environment with his intentions, he was able to unblock the energy that had been holding him back. His financial difficulties began to ease, and he found himself making confident, effective decisions that propelled his business forward. His nights, once restless and filled with worry, became peaceful and restorative. This newfound clarity and energy carried over into all aspects of his life, demonstrating the profound connection between our physical surroundings and our spiritual and emotional states. For anyone seeking to invite blessings and protection into their life, the lessons of Padre Pio provide a clear path forward. Start by assessing your bedroom, particularly your bed. Is it cluttered with unnecessary items or objects carrying negative energy? Taking the time to clear these away is not just an act of tidiness, it is an act of faith and self-care. Next, consider incorporating symbols of your faith or objects that inspire peace and hope into your space. Whether it's a crucifix, a candle, or a small statue, these items can act as anchors, grounding your intentions and inviting divine protection. And don't forget the power of prayer. Even a few moments of gratitude and intention each night can create a ripple effect of positivity in your life. By following these simple yet profound steps, you can transform your bedroom and, by extension, your life into a space where blessings flow freely and challenges seem more manageable. Like John, you may find that aligning your environment with your intentions leads to greater clarity, peace, and abundance. The bed, as Padre Pio reminded us, is not just a place to sleep. It is a sacred space where the soul finds its strength and where the seeds of a prosperous and harmonious life are sown. Objects carry energy. This is a truth Padre Pio often emphasized. The emotional charge imbued in the things we choose to keep around us, particularly in our most intimate spaces, can deeply influence our well-being. By recognizing this, we can transform the energy of our resting environment into one that nurtures peace, gratitude, and abundance. Imagine your bed, not just as a functional piece of furniture, but as a sacred altar of renewal. The objects placed on or near it should reflect love, joy, and gratitude, amplifying those energies in your life. By removing items that hold a negative emotional charge, perhaps mementos from a painful time, symbols of conflict, or even things that evoke stress, you cleanse your space of energy that no longer serves you. In their place, introducing images or items that inspire happiness, such as photographs of loved ones, symbols of faith, or simple tokens of beauty, creates a powerful shift. The bed, then, becomes a haven, a place where your spirit feels supported and protected. Equally important is your mindset when preparing to rest. The act of surrendering your body and spirit to sleep is a moment of profound vulnerability and renewal. Approaching it with gratitude transforms the experience, aligning you with a positive frequency. Reflecting on the blessings of the day, even the smallest ones, shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. When you couple this gratitude with faith, trusting that you are protected by the divine, you open yourself to new opportunities and prosperity. Padre Pio's teachings guide us to honor the resting place as a sanctuary, free from clutter and negativity. His wisdom teaches that taking care of the space where you sleep is not just about physical tidiness, it's about caring for your soul. This care has a ripple effect, touching your health, your relationships, and even your material success. Your bed, treated with reverence, becomes a conduit for blessings, a place where healing and rejuvenation occur, and where you awaken each day better equipped to face life's challenges. To create this sanctuary, begin by examining your environment. Are there objects near your bed that evoke sadness or tension? Maybe it's a letter from a strained relationship, a gift from someone whose intentions weren't kind, or even broken items that symbolize neglect. Removing these allows stagnant energy to dissipate. Replace them with elements that uplift you: soft lighting, inspiring books, or sacred symbols that resonate with your faith. One particularly effective addition is prayer. Padre Pio often encouraged ending the day with a heartfelt dialogue with the divine. Whether it's a formal prayer or a few words spoken from the heart, this act sets the tone for a peaceful night. By thanking the divine for the day that has passed and asking for blessings in the days ahead, you align your spirit with a positive and hopeful energy. In this way, your bed becomes more than a place of rest, it becomes a space of communion and trust. This wisdom becomes even more poignant when paired with an attitude of mindfulness. Consider, as you drift off to sleep, how deeply your resting environment reflects your inner state. If the space feels chaotic, your mind and body may absorb that discord. Conversely, a calm, clean, and spiritually fortified space promotes a sense of safety and renewal. Your bed should feel like the hands of God cradling you, ensuring that you wake with clarity, vitality, and purpose. A prayer to Padre Pio can further anchor these intentions. In the quiet moments before sleep, speak to him as a trusted guide. Ask for his wisdom in caring for your space, for his discernment to recognize and remove negative influences, and for his blessings to transform your bed into a haven of spiritual protection. Express gratitude for the guidance he provides and trust in his ability to intercede on your behalf. O dear and beloved Padre Pio, you might pray, faithful servant of God who has always taught us about the power of energies and faith in our lives. Today I come before you seeking your guidance and protection regarding the most sacred space in my home, my bed, where I rest my body and soul. Teach me to care for this space with a necessary respect and reverence, so that it may always be a place of peace, prosperity, and spiritual renewal. Help me to understand, as you have taught us, the symbolism of the objects that surround us. May I have the discernment to perceive the energies each object carries, so that only those that bring light and blessings are present around me. As you speak these words, visualize your space transforming. Picture your bed bathed in light, its energy radiating peace and safety. Imagine the clutter dissolving, replaced by objects and symbols that inspire love and hope. Feel a protective shield forming around your resting place, a barrier against the negativity of the world. This is the sanctuary Padre Pio envisioned, a space where rest is deep, healing is natural, and blessings flow effortlessly. By adopting these practices, you bring Padre Pio's teachings into your daily life. The care you take in curating your environment mirrors the care you take for your soul. This attention, this mindfulness, ensures that every time you lay down to rest, you are in a space that honors your spirit and invites the divine to work in your life. Let the space where you sleep be a testament to your faith and gratitude. Trust that as you nurture this sanctuary, you open the doors to abundance, health, and happiness. With Padre Pio's guidance, you can transform even the simplest acts, like preparing your bed, into profound expressions of reverence and hope. Padre Pio, with his profound wisdom and spiritual insight, taught us that the objects we place around us, particularly in the intimate space where we sleep, carry energy that can deeply influence our lives. In the sacred moments of rest, the meeting point between body and spirit, this space becomes a gateway for renewal, healing, and blessings. However, when treated carelessly or filled with items that hold heavy emotional or symbolic weight, this sanctuary can instead invite negativity, disrupting the flow of prosperity, health, and peace. Free me from the error, you might pray, of allowing the burdens of debt and financial responsibility to creep into my place of rest. Imagine the weight of bills, receipts, or overdue notices sitting on your bed, symbols of worry and scarcity. These objects hold more than their tangible form. They carry the emotional imprint of stress and obligation, subtly infiltrating the peace of your resting space. Padre Pio's teachings remind us to remove such items, freeing ourselves from their grip and creating room for God's blessings to flow unobstructed. Broken objects, too, are symbols of stagnation and decay. Whether it's a cracked watch, a torn photograph, or damaged jewelry, these items radiate the energy of incompleteness, subtly influencing the environment they occupy. Padre Pio urged us to treat our resting place with the utmost care and diligence, ensuring that it remains clean, organized, and free of anything that might symbolize ruin. By removing these objects, you create a sense of lightness, opening your space to harmony and abundance. The intention behind the items we place in our personal spaces also matters greatly. Gifts from individuals with unkind intentions can carry subtle yet pervasive negativity, acting as conduits for discord. Padre Pio's teachings guide us to be discerning about what we allow into our lives and, by extension, into our sacred spaces. Replacing such items with symbols of faith like a crucifix, an image of a saint, or a token that holds personal meaning serves as a spiritual shield, repelling negativity and welcoming divine light. Beyond the physical objects, Padre Pio emphasized the importance of cultivating spiritual practices to safeguard and sanctify your resting environment. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to do this is through prayer. Before sleep, pause and reflect. Speak to the divine with an open heart, entrusting your rest and life to God's care. Padre Pio, you might say, guide me to pray with a pure heart, trusting fully in God's protection. May my sleep be sheltered by His light, driving away shadows of fear, illness, or poverty. This nightly ritual not only brings peace, but also aligns your spirit with a higher frequency of gratitude and faith. Gratitude, in particular, is a transformative force. As you prepare for rest, reflect on the blessings of the day, no matter how small. A warm meal, a kind word, or simply the gift of a safe space to sleep can serve as reminders of abundance. This mindset invites more blessings into your life, turning your bed into a beacon of prosperity and renewal. Padre Pio's teachings also extend to the energy of the environment itself. A cluttered or unclean space can reflect and amplify internal chaos. Taking simple steps like changing sheets regularly, removing unnecessary items, and keeping the area around your bed airy and serene fosters a sense of calm and clarity. This physical act of care mirrors the spiritual discipline of mindfulness, ensuring that your bed remains a place of rest, not a repository for unresolved emotions or unfinished tasks. Imagine your bed as a sacred altar, each object placed upon it, each thought carried to it, and each moment spent in its embrace becomes part of the energy it holds. Treating it with reverence transforms it into a sanctuary, a place where divine light resides, where the soul is replenished, and where you awaken each day with renewed strength and purpose. May my bed, you might pray, become a true refuge of peace, prosperity, and healing. Teach me, Padre Pio, to honor this space as sacred, to remove anything that carries sadness, ruin, or ill intent, and to replace those influences with light and blessings. May I always feel the presence of God at my side, guiding me through rest and renewal. These practices may seem simple, but their impact can be profound. By aligning the energy of your resting space with the divine, you invite a sense of balance and harmony into your life. You may find that financial burdens begin to ease, health challenges become more manageable, and your spirit feels lighter, ready to embrace the opportunities of each new day. Padre Pio's wisdom reminds us that small changes in how we care for our environment can ripple outward, affecting every aspect of our lives. By treating our beds not merely as functional spaces, but as sanctuaries of spiritual renewal, we take an important step toward manifesting abundance, health, and joy. In this way, the act of preparing for rest becomes an act of devotion, connecting us to the divine and to the deeper truths that guide our lives. May your bed, cleansed of negativity and imbued with symbols of faith and love, become a space where blessings flow freely. May you rest each night in the embrace of divine protection, and may every dawn bring renewed strength and hope. With Padre Pio's guidance, you can transform this simple act of care into a powerful expression of your faith and a testament to the life you aspire to create. Objects in our environment are not just lifeless things, they hold energy and symbolism that can deeply influence our lives. Padre Pio's teachings illuminate this truth, reminding us that even the most innocuous-seeming items can either invite blessings or create blockages. The objects we surround ourselves with, especially in our most personal and vulnerable spaces, act as conduits for energy. When we place items imbued with negativity or chaos on our beds, we inadvertently attract low vibrational energies, disrupting the natural flow of blessings and creating obstacles on our spiritual and material paths. Understanding this subtle yet powerful connection between objects and energy is vital for maintaining harmony and prosperity. Padre Pio taught that small, intentional actions could bring profound shifts in our lives. A bed, the space where we spend a significant portion of our existence, must be treated with reverence and care. It is not merely a physical resting place, but a sacred space where the soul connects with the divine, rejuvenates, and prepares for the challenges ahead. Take, for example, the simple act of keeping your bed and the surrounding area clean and organized. Clutter, whether physical or energetic, can block the flow of positive energy, mirroring internal confusion or stagnation. Piles of clothes, scattered belongings, or dusty corners in your resting area create an environment that hinders your ability to recharge and align with the energies of peace and abundance. By maintaining cleanliness and order, you invite clarity and harmony into your space, allowing positive vibrations to flow freely. Equally important is the conscious choice of what you place on or around your bed. Padre Pio warned against items like sad books, unpaid bills, or gifts from people harboring ill intentions. These objects carry emotional and energetic weights that can subtly influence your thoughts and experiences. Financial documents, for instance, symbolize responsibility and often stress, creating an atmosphere of scarcity and worry when left on your bed. Similarly, broken or deteriorated items reflect stagnation and decay, qualities that can manifest in your life if they remain in your sacred space. Instead of allowing such items to take root, Padre Pio encouraged us to replace them with symbols of faith, hope, and protection. Placing a crucifix, a rosary, or a serene image of a saint near your bed can transform the energy of your space. These sacred objects act as spiritual anchors, grounding you in positivity and creating a barrier against negative influences. They serve as reminders of divine guidance and the enduring presence of love and light in your life. Beyond the physical care of your space, Padre Pio emphasized the necessity of integrating spirituality into your resting routine. He advocated for prayer before sleep, a practice that not only centers the spirit, but also builds a protective shield around you. This act of surrender and trusting your rest and renewal to God fosters a sense of peace, ensuring that your sleep is restorative and untouched by lingering worries or harmful energies. Imagine the impact of such a simple, heartfelt ritual. As you close your day, instead of dwelling on stress or uncertainty, you turn your heart toward gratitude and trust. You might say, "Lord, I entrust my sleep to you. Surround me with your light and protect me from harm. Renew my body and spirit so I may rise ready to face the day ahead." This nightly habit reinforces the idea that your resting place is a sanctuary, guarded by divine presence and imbued with the promise of renewal. Padre Pio's teachings reveal a profound truth. Prosperity and health are not solely products of hard work or external circumstances, but are deeply tied to how we care for our environment and soul. When we treat our space, especially our bed, with respect and attention, we align ourselves with higher energies that promote well-being and abundance. By keeping our bed in harmony, we create a ripple effect that extends into every aspect of our lives, opening channels for blessings to flow effortlessly. Consider the story of Maria, a woman who found herself trapped in a cycle of financial struggle and emotional exhaustion. Despite her relentless efforts, she couldn't seem to find relief or progress. Upon learning about Padre Pio's guidance, she took a closer look at her bedroom. She realized it was filled with reminders of her struggles, unpaid bills piled on her nightstand, a broken clock on her dresser, and gifts from people whose relationships had long since soured. Inspired by Padre Pio's wisdom, Maria made a decision to reclaim her space. She removed the bills, repaired or discarded broken items, and placed a small crucifix by her bed. Each night, she prayed for guidance and protection, trusting in the divine to watch over her. Gradually, Maria noticed changes. She began to feel lighter, her sleep became more restful, and new opportunities seemed to present themselves effortlessly. Her financial situation improved, and she discovered a renewed sense of clarity and purpose. This transformation illustrates the power of taking deliberate steps to harmonize your space. Small actions like clearing clutter or introducing sacred objects can have profound effects, both seen and unseen. By honoring the energy of your resting place, you create an environment that nurtures your spirit and aligns you with the abundance of the universe. Padre Pio's message is clear. Your bed is more than furniture. It is a sacred space where body and soul meet, a place where the divine resides. Protecting and honoring this space is an act of faith, a declaration that you are open to receiving the blessings meant for you. By treating your bed with care and intention, you not only invite peace and prosperity, but also affirm your commitment to living a life aligned with divine grace. In embracing these teachings, you can transform your bedroom into a sanctuary of healing, renewal, and abundance. As you care for this space, may you find that blessings flow freely, negative energies dissipate, and your life becomes a reflection of the harmony you've created. May your bed, cleansed and sanctified, become a beacon of light where the divine's presence is always felt, guiding you toward a life of prosperity, health, and happiness.